All right, so the Copa America now has been weird. They have a knockout game without an extra time. That's not something we are used to.
Yeah.
But from my own perspective or from my own view, what I would say is it's actually good considering the fact that footballers have been complaining about playing too many minutes. So this can serve as a way of them, resting their legs and also bringing the competition because you know that there's no extra time. So you have to give it your all in the 90 minutes. And if you can't do that, then you are out because it's going to be penalties straight. But a lot of people have their various, opinions about this issue of no extra time until the finals. So Handy and Egbe, Evelsam, tell me what you think about it.
Yeah.
Handy, let's start with you.
Okay, personally, I think it's a very stupid idea. I think the main reason why it was done was because the Copa America is here in the United States, and they are doing this to try and get the US fans, which we all know that most of them are not soccer fans. Actually, we are building the fan base in the soccer region, but you see now I'm already calling it soccer, which is stupid because whenever I say football, I know what comes to people's mind over here. It's not the normal football that we know. So I think they did this because the president of the Copa America, he's trying to please the American fans because they always complain that football is a little bit boring. And if we are being very honest with ourselves, we know that like Ronaldinho said, some of those players that were the reasons why we watch football that entertained us, they are no longer there because everyone wants to use a system. Everyone wants to copy Pep Guardiola's style of playing, and they don't allow players to express themselves as much as they did before. So now, if we could, like, I don't know if you're aware of the game yesterday, the Brazil versus Uruguay's game. From the 70th minute, it was completely negative football because Uruguay had a man down and they knew that all they needed to do was to take the game to the penalty shootout. To me, I honestly think it is kind of like what we used to experience in the Champions League football way back, where we had the away goal rule. So any team that scores away, they would want to go home and defend. It brought about a negative idea of playing football. And I don't support the idea, but I think it was because they're trying to please the fan and not just because the players have complained about, the amount of football matches that they get to play in a season. So that's my personal opinion.
Okay, now big man, Evelsam. Let's hear from you.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like Andy said. I don't think it's a good idea. We all fell in love with this game because of the creative side of the game, the fun that it brings to us, And so sometimes when you come with these rules, it changes a lot of things. I feel like what is good for P is good for Handy. So we must change the rule. Let it be a collective idea from football worldwide that okay, you know what, there's nothing like extra time anymore in football. And so when you get to the pitch, you already have an idea of what to do within 90 minutes. So Copa America just from nowhere, we're not going to play extra time. We're going to stick to 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, it's penalty. I don't think it's a good idea. Let's let this game flow. Play this game the way it should be. If you have a reason to adjust to rules, take out something, add something, let it be universal. Say, okay,
Yeah.
football, not extra anymore, not doing it for a particular purpose that I don't think it's going to work on my idea. So just like I said, the game yesterday, early this morning between Brazil and Uruguay. I mean, Brazil should be feeling really, really bad.
Bad, yeah.
If
Like they were hard done.
11 men against 10 men, you have up to 50 minutes to win the game. But Uruguay, they knew what was happening and they had to just start delaying and all of that. So I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, I understand what you've said, and which is true. It takes away that tension because we love that tension, that suspense in football. It's good. And also, if you talk about dead legs, some will even make an argument of the fact that if you have players who are tired, that's why you don't go with 11 players for any competition. You go with 23 players.
23,
So you make
25 now.
Yeah, and the substitutions have been increased to 5. So you can make use of those other players. But yeah, this is a very good point that you touched on, Handy, when you talked about people like Ronaldinho and Delima Ronaldo saying they would rather watch tennis than football, which is a very hard one for us football fans because we know you can't compare both. Football is football, tennis is tennis. But what they are trying to say is football has become boring.
Yep.
Has football really become boring?
Yes, I would say so, 100%. Because to me, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy supporting the club I'm supporting. I'm sorry bringing this into the game, but if you have been following Carlo Ancelotti's press conferences, he would always say that he allows the attacking players to express themselves. It is very important in football that you minimize the tactics you give to your players on the ball. You use most of those tactics off the ball so that
has
you
Pep,
can
has Pep
continue.
Guardiola ruined football?
I
Has
won't
Pep
say
killed
Pep has ruined
football?
football. I won't say
See,
so. Personally, I
I
think
won't,
Pep
I won't
has.
just say, I won't say Pep has ruined football, but to some extent, he has not contributed to that. I mean, the likes of Pep, Arteta, and the new Chelsea manager, Maresca, these guys, their game, their style of coaching, the players are like, like a video
Closely
game.
knitted.
Just control them.
Yes.
Control every single thing on the pitch. From the goalkeepers to the attackers, everybody you have a role to play. As a striker, you have to defend. As a goalkeeper, you have to pass. So there's literally no freedom anymore. I was seeing a video some days ago of a player who was showboating a little bit, and what happened? The referee got angry, booked him just for showboating.
You
So
can imagine.
that
You can
aspect
imagine.
of the game,
Okay,
entertainment,
let me come in
literally
there now.
gone.
Let me
Very
come in
little.
there. Everson, you're an Arsenal fan. If you remember, there was a game Arsenal played, maybe 2011 or so. It was an FA Cup game, I think, against Brighton. Then Brighton were still in the Championship. And I remember Thomas Rosicky, there was something he did. He gave an assist. You know this no-look assist? And he does that a lot. He looked away and he gave an assist. I think it was Phil Neville or Gary Neville, one of the Neville brothers, came out to say, if I was on the pitch there, I'll give him a double leg tackle. That's arrogance. That's not nice. So we've seen so-called football experts criticize players for being entertaining. And I also remember there was a game, I think Chelsea versus Man City. City were winning, and it was towards the dying end of the game. Sterling took the ball down to the corner flag, and he started showboating, and Pep was angry. And also the commentators, they were also not happy with it. They was like, this is disrespect. And I said to myself, what would they have said when we had the likes of JJ Okocha, we had the likes of Ronaldinho doing rainbow flicks?
Do you know Neymar has been carded in the game when he was at Barca against Atletico Bilbao because he did the rainbow flick? And another player pulled him back, and the ref came and gave Neymar a card for showboating.
So
I was confused because in my mind, I don't understand.
Quick question now:
respect.
Is showboating disrespect?
Personally, no. It's part of the game because before Ronaldinho, we had players doing the trademark.
Showboating is part of the game. I think it can be a little bit of respectful to the opponent. We put it to a whole new level.
But
probably when you're losing.
Wait. This is it. Yeah, we grew up watching Zidane, Delima, Ronaldo, Okocha. Before we started watching football, there was Pele, Maradona, Zico. Yeah. Those guys were skillful.
Johan Cruyff.
Even very, very skillful.
So why would you even call it disrespect? Andy, you're a big basketball fan. You play basketball.
Yeah.
There's a lot of showboating in basketball.
A lot. You don't compete.
This is fun, and we as fans, we love it. We love it when we see stuff like that. So why are they taking it out of the game and calling it disrespect? Or is this just a reflection of society these days?
I honestly think so. I was just about to say that, like what the question you asked, to me, I don't think Pep, Arteta, they're killing football. I think the Pep wannabes are the ones destroying football. You can come up with your own tactic and it will still work. Ancelotti doesn't play Pep's tactics, but he still wins. Pep plays Pep football and he wins. Arteta has shown us that the Pep style, which is his own style, can give you a trophy because he was really close. So it is the Pep wannabes, the people who are not original, who don't come up with their own ideas or don't stick to the style that will probably suit their teams, but trying to change the style. just because you want to play the modern day football. Is the problem we have in football today. And like you said, society too is the problem, because you're playing the game on the pitch, everything, the negative things you say, whenever you use the curse words, they end on the pitch. You leave them on the pitch. So even showboating should be left on the pitch. You don't talk after the game and start saying that if I was on the pitch, I would probably have injured the player. That's not the right mentality to go by, because young players that will be coming up, that's how they'll see that if someone is showboating around me, I should not be able to allow this to happen. So they would want to injure the player, or commit a tackle, a tackle.
So I understand all of this now. This is going to be a very big. It's going to be a very big conversation, because these days you go to football academies, what you see is pass, 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 goalkeepers, pass, pass, pass. This is a fun fact now, a true story. We stayed in Abuja, yeah. You know Biagi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
During my teenage age, you won't believe this, I went to an academy, a football academy in Biagi. I was good at goalkeeping then. I used to dive. But my very first day in that academy, you know what they were doing? They were doing some ball work. And I was like, what's in the spinach is going on here? As a goalkeeper, because I don't know how to juggle the ball. My ball control is not good, but I knew I could dive. And that was the last day I went to that academy, the shortest goalkeeping career ever.
Whereas when I was young, like what my own coach was telling me as a young lad growing up as a goalkeeper was every day I go out on the pitch, I spent 30 minutes just kicking the ball, goal kicks, long balls. He wanted me to send those balls in, because as a goalkeeper, that's your first attribute with your foot. You try to send the balls in. Do you understand? Away from your goal post. You play the ball to safety. Not, the Manonua and the Stegen, or the likes of them Stegen, where you have to play short passes. No, that's not how we were taught.
That's why we have one of the best football strikers wasting away as a goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Have you seen that guy as an outfield player? Onana is actually better than some strikers. Manchester United, you are wasting your money if you're going to sign Zizik. Put Onana up front, he will get you the goals. Okay, let's talk about the Euros now.
You were going to mention Ederson.
Ederson is going to Saudi to make some money. Let's talk about the Euros. Okay, the Euros has been, in my opinion, under par. It hasn't been great, but you can make an excuse for them saying they have played a lot of games, but that's an argument. But so far, so good. We have seen England, Netherlands, France, and Spain as the semi-finalists. But I would love to shine the torchlight on the French team. Didier Deschamps, I don't know the French juju that he uses. That man is magical. This is a man who took a side to the 2018 World Cup. He won the World Cup with a striker who played every game and didn't have a shot on target.
Score, yeah.
Not even score. I don't think he had a shot on target, Olivier Giroud. But he won the World Cup with that team. He's also a side now that has gone to the semi-finals of the Euros without scoring a goal from open play. Let's start with that, and then we'll talk about the predictions for the semi-finals. Eval?
Well, what do you expect? He's a World Cup winner, so you have to respect him. If he decides to play a system where the team will not score any open play goal to the final and they win it, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's a level you get to and people will not question you anymore because of what you've achieved. He has a very decent CV. So whatever he does, I mean, there's very little scrutiny there. Like I say, he went to a World Cup with a striker who barely had a shot on goal, but he still won the World Cup. So why will anyone question him? I think what he has decided to do, he has looked into the team, and there's a particular player that he had in 2018, right? That is no longer there for Pogba. So there is no Pogba in that team, and he knows there's a little bit of creativity that is not there. So why play an expansive football when I do not have some of the kind of player that is needed to play that style of football? So what he has done is, let me have a structure that won't give opponents access to my goal. So the first line of the team, the defense, is solid. The second line, the midfield side of it, So in the attack, they are not so creative. They have individual talents that can win games for them. So he's not really bothered about playing an expansive football, creating a pattern where the teams can create lots of chances. So he has just decided to stick with what he has and what he thinks can work on. Actually, if you're looking at it from this other angle, those are the kind of teams most times that win tournaments. Teams with a very solid defensive structure that don't let the opponent get through to them. Because you can be, I mean, look at Portugal now. They were one of the best footballing teams. Football, create a lot of chances, score a lot of goals, but they're out. You understand? So it's a beautiful approach for him. It has worked for him before. So he's decided, you know what, I'm going to stick to this. There are lots of individual talents. There's Mbappe, he could do it on his own. He can do it. Coman can come in, can do it on his own. There's Griezmann, he can do it on his own. So he's not really bothered about what the players, the attack can do. So it's more about having a good structure that will prevent the opponent from, scoring. So, but let's see how far he can go. He has a very tough opponent in their next match against Spain.
Who's going to win?
That's not a joke. But
well,
who's going to win, Handy? How do you see that game going? Spain versus France.
I was just about to say defenses win you tournaments. And France has shown us, not from this tournament, but from every tournament under Didier Deschamps, that haram football sometimes win tournaments. The truth is, I see France beating Spain because I actually don't see Spain getting past France easily. That's one. Then secondly, like Everson just said, he believes in his players because they are moment players. Kylian Mbappe can win you a game anytime, any day, on a good day. I think their first or second match, they won against Switzerland. They had a very good game. Like, they created real good chances. Griezmann was just, not putting them behind the net. Like, it was just not clicking. There was a time when Rabiot should have scored, but he decided to square play to Griezmann and he went behind it. These things, these things, they happen in the football match. But the most important thing is not conceding when you're playing a tournament. Now, Spain is going to be without Carvajal because he's suspended. Are they going to start with a 39 or a 40-year-old Jesus Navas? Who is going to try and stop? Yeah, who is going to try and mark out? Yeah, is he going to be the person that is going to try and stop Kylian Mbappe? And when you check France's team, like Egbe said, the first line is solid. The defensive cover in the midfield, 100% solid. It is just that now you have N'Golo Kante, who has been a defensive midfielder, trying to be more creative. You have Tchouameni, a defensive midfielder, trying to be more creative. You have Camavinga or Rabiot, who are not really creative play midfielders, but they are trying to do these things. So it is left for Kylian Mbappe, Dembele, Thuram, to be the guys to do these things for France. And personally, I see France going all the way again to meet England in the finals. And we might end up seeing another penalty shootout. That's my prediction. And I have one more thing. And I have one more thing to say. When we were criticizing the Copa America for scrapping away the extra time, I think we also have to give credits to the Euros for bringing out a rule that now might most likely help football. That's what you do. You bring out you create structures that can help the game improve. The idea of only the captains talking to the ref, to me, it's going to end a lot of fights that happen on the pitch, a lot of time wasting. Because when you cannot speak to the ref, you're going to get booked for it, then you would avoid saying a lot of things, especially when you're trying to defend a tackle that you yourself know that this tackle was bad and rough, but you see players just trying to kill time, coming to the ref, saying things that are irrelevant because you cannot get the ref to change his mind.
Copa America is a different grade.
Just proves, yes, it proves.
You see that referee, that in the Turkey game that gave over 19 cards.
20,
if that ref was in Copa America, that game would be disqualified because after 5 red cards, the game gets disqualified. So in Copa America, those guys, they are cultists, man. The way they fight, Odumodu squad, that guy, anybody.
look at what Araujo did to Hendrick. Like, he just wanted to, instill fear in Hendrick. You come into
wait. You just mentioned one name now, Hendrick. I saw something. Someone said,
people talk about Hendrick
Hendrick being the next Pele. Then the person said, all I can say is Hendrick is closer to Pius Ikedia. And another person
The
came
thing
out
is,
to say that's a big disrespect to Pius Ikedia. You should be comparing him to Emmanuel Sani.
come on now. You cannot criticize a
Hendrick
17 year
had
old
just
for
completed just one pass in the entire game. That guy's PR is mad. If that guy were
it
to
is
be
not,
English, he
no.
would win the Ballon d'Or already.
No, you cannot say that because first of all, you have to look at it from this angle. That's his first match that he's starting for
What is
Brazil.
Hendrick good at?
Wait,
What is Hendrick good
he's a
at?
good goal scorer. He's a good goal scorer.
A good goal scorer is
He is
a
a good.
business scholar. Not He's not interested in showboating,
Thank
number of
you. He's
dribbles,
he's
number of.
direct.
I actually like
He
him because you
Oh,
don't
sorry.
so is it
see
because
many of them.
he's a goal just a goal scorer? That's why he decided not to complete any pass apart from the kickoff pass.
Well, you have to look at the fact that Uruguay has one of the best defense. They've considered just one goal, if you remember, in this whole tournament. So
Okay.
you need to first of all say a team that's considered just one goal in an entire tournament, then that same defense coming up against a 17-year-old, that's a mismatch now. Come
See,
on
let me
now.
tell you, you see Hendrick.
And this is
I was
first
I will
major
say
tournament.
I will
So
say this one in pidgin English. My Nigerian guys will understand. If Hendrick they for bunk, if they give him bras, he no go pass. Hendrick go puff, he no go pass.
Nice one, nice one.
Okay, now let's pass to the next stage. Now, the English people is coming home. We've had a lot of change all week, from the politics down to the football system. Gareth Southgate managed to change the system a bit, but he was forced because a player was suspended. And people thought he was going to actually play Bukayo Saka as a left wing back, but that didn't happen because this man is aware. And I think his stubbornness is very good for him. He knows what he wants and he
Yeah,
blocks out
yeah,
all the noise. He knows Bukayo
yep,
Saka is actually the best right winger in that team, and that's
yep.
showed out. Okay, now what do you think about England's chances against the Netherlands?
Personally, I think England can beat the Netherlands. Like, sorry, with this new system, with this 3-4-3, I think the system suits England better. At least it allows them to transition a little bit faster. Because one of the problems that England has been having in this tournament is their transition. The transition has been really slow from the defense to attack. So I think with this formation, they're going to have a very good chance against the Netherlands. And I honestly think, if the same way Saka stepped up, like he was literally the best player on the pitch in the last game against Switzerland. The same way Saka stepped up, I think if Foden or Saka or Jude Bellingham can do that again, they have every chance of making it to the final. Because England has players, if we are being honest, that can win games individually. It has just been because the system hasn't been working perfectly. But like you said, Southgate's stubbornness has been one of the things that's helped him in all the tournaments he's been playing at. So I think they have a very good chance of beating the Netherlands.
My question for you now is: Gareth Southgate England's best ever manager?
No.
How about you, Egbe?
Because they have a manager who has given them the tournament, who has won a World Cup.
He's been the best manager, but I think he has actually had a wonderful
there. He's up there.
Manager, because there were times where this England team, with all the stars to the tournament, they struggled to qualify from the group stage. But with Gareth Southgate, this is their third semi-final of a major tournament. That's not a joke. He has actually done well, even with the pressure, the noise from the media, and all of that. But he has actually really done well. But being the best England manager, I'm not so sure. But I think he's up there with City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is going to win, England or Netherlands?
Very tough game. Netherlands rely on the team and not the individual player. England, on the other hand, I think they have more than enough talent to, just like Andy said, to win games on their own. Bellingham can just step up, and it could be Saka, it could be Foden's moment. He has not really had a moment, but it might be his moment. It could be Harry Kane, so it could be anybody. They have more than enough talent to go ahead and win the game. But I feel like the Netherlands can surprise England because they've not been in this position for a very long time. And they've seen this little progress in the course of this tournament. Yeah, they might not really be the best team, but they've shown progress. They've shown that they can deal with tough situations. They had a difficult time against Austria, yeah, but they were able to go toe to toe with France. So that's to show you that they can actually stand against some of the best teams out there. So for them to have gotten to this level, semi-final, a place they've not been to for a very long time, I think they might surprise England. I don't know why I have this feeling. Even if I
I
think England had the upper hand, I feel like the Netherlands might just surprise because they will rely on one particular player. They might tell themselves the truth. As we are a group of guys, and for some of us, this might be our last chance. So why not just go in there and fight for 90 minutes or 120 minutes or even penalties? So maybe let me just be on the opposing side. I know everybody believes England, but let me just be that one guy
Okay.
that thinks the
and
Netherlands will just.
I think if Koeman starts a striker from the beginning, they will have a very big chance of winning. His biggest problem has been starting Bergwijn on the right, then bringing in a striker later on, to turn the game around. I think if he starts with an actual striker, because we know DP is not a striker. DP is just like a false nine. He's not an actual striker. If he can start De Jong or Zexi, up front from the beginning of the game, I think they will really be able to put enough pressure on England, and who knows, the game might just swing in their favor.
This guy,
I think the reason why he's not starting a striker, I think the reason why he's not starting a striker is because he has three strikers in the team. Two
Three, yeah.
young strikers who are just coming into the team. You can't really trust them. There's Joshua Zexi and there's Brian Bobby. These are young, talented players, but they're just coming into the team. They've not really had that much time in the team, so he doesn't really trust them. The other striker that he trusts, Weghorst, is not really
Weghorst, yes.
not
Weghorst.
a reliable striker, but can actually make an impact from the bench. I think that's why. But for Memphis Depay, on the other hand, has the ability to make others play, even if he doesn't score. He could bring others into play, just like he said, he's a first nine, get into the ball, get into spaces, play the
And
ball
that
into
put
spaces
can
from
be very
other
important to
wingers.
them.
So it
Okay.
can actually
The
help
highest goal
them.
scorers.
So it helps them crowd their midfield once in a while. So it has
Okay.
worked for him. So why would he change?
My takeout from what you just said, Handy, is I think you just on a low key called Memphis Depay a striker whose goals are on strike. Because you cannot tell me someone is a striker, he scores goals, but he doesn't really score goals. What are you saying, bro? Okay, all right. Now it's all good. We've got like 5 minutes to wrap up now, but quickly, let's just touch on the club side. Ricardo Calafiori. That name sounds familiar if you're an Arsenal fan. Arsenal tried to win the league last season. They were so close, but everyone thought Arsenal needed to, reinforce the attack. But right now, what we are seeing Arsenal doing is actually trying to solidify an already solid defensive line. What do you think about that signing if it goes through? Are you happy with that, Eva?
Yeah. I don't to be too excited yet until it's done deal, but I think I'm excited that they're actually making moves because it gets to that level. It's easy to motivate the players to. But when you bring in a few players in and out, they come with this extra motivation that can actually push the ones that are there. And the likes of Van Gabriel played lots of games. It's probably not going to be easy to sustain that at that level. Injury might come and everything. So you need someone stepping if any of them is not there. You also need someone to break that competition.
Your audio. Hold on. Your audio is bad. Handy, can you hear it?
Yeah. It was buffering.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
your audio was bad.
So, but basically, his point, I know the point Everson was making basically was, like you cannot have Gabriel playing the entire season. Do you understand? And if you check 2 seasons ago, Saliba's injury cost Arsenal the title too. So, in case any of that happens this season, you have a very solid player in Calaflori who, just took Bologna too with his team to the Champions League to qualify for the Champions League. A big feat, if you ask me, in the Italian league. And you have Julian Timbers coming back from injury soon, who is also going to be like a new signing. So you have a very solid defensive line, and I think it might just be the next step that Arsenal need to get to clinch the title.
All right, talking about next step now. Thiago Alcantara, the magician on the ball, has called it to quit on football, like he's hung his boots. This is a shocker to some people.
That dude hung his boot 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's a breaking news, but to me, that news has been breaking a long time ago. I can't remember the last time I saw Alcantara play football.
I'm sorry, Alcantara, but I think you retired the moment you left Bayern, because even at Liverpool, we only have glimpses of Alcantara. We've never really seen Alcantara play maybe a complete season since he came to Liverpool.
I've seen him play complete season on my FIFA.
I knew something was going to happen.
But what do you think of his career so far? In 1 minute.
Underwhelming to me.
That's good. Yeah. Underwhelming. And you?
I didn't get that. Handy, come again. Thiago's career. What did you say?
Yeah. Underwhelming. He's a Real Madrid fan. What do you expect, man?
Yeah.
Man, this guy literally won every single thing at Bayern Munich. Won some things Barcelona before he went to Bayern Munich. Won everything. What are we saying? Come on, man. Thiago had an outstanding career. He was, in his playing days, he was one of the most technically gifted midfielders that you could see. Very elegant. Damn, not the one doesn't run around. Could just stay in a particular region of the pitch and stay to play. No, Thiago was an outstanding footballer. So I wish him nothing but.
All right.
But he's going to have an amazing career as a coach.
Okay, fantastic. Now we have
wait. Sorry. Yeah, 2 minutes before you go. So we're talking about players that retire, and you don't talk about Toni Kroos, but you're talking about Alcantara.
Toni Kroos is going to have his own special, and that'll be after the Euros. We'll have Toni Kroos special after the Euros. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Soft Sports TV. You can like, share, and subscribe. I've had Handy and Eva right here. But before we go, let's play a quick game in 1 minute. Just 1 minute for the two of you. Now, I'll give you 3 players, random names. You know this game already, for you to rank them, okay? There are 3 Real Madrid legends, all right? Number 1, you hear the name Raul. Where do you put Raul? Quickly.
Number 3.
Marcelo.
2.
Raul Albiol.
As a P, you're not nice at all. You're not.
I have to play this game with you. I need to ask him his own.
Okay, let's go. Your turn now. Your turn. 3 Arsenal legends. Okay. Number 3, Dennis Beckham. Where do you
Number
put
2.
Kanu Wankwo.
Number 3.
Yeah, Sanogo.
Soft. This is unfair. You did not follow the rules of the game. You are cheating.
It's my game, man. It's my game. It's my rule. I make the rule. Right?
Okay. You have to play this game too, but we need to choose a cup for you sometime.
You come prepared next week. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Okay.
It's been amazing,
let's end it here.